Hi guys, so it's Gage with another zone poker video. This time I'm playing 50 no limit zone as opposed to 25 no limit zone, and I'm not playing quite as aggressive as I did in previous videos because I think the games have gotten better since I made them, but still gonna make some moves and do some interesting stuff. So here I just 3-bet bluffed 8-5 suited in position and got a flat call. I flop a gutter, so I am gonna half pot it, hoping that he goes away. Yeah, there we go. That board kind of hits a flatting range there, but not that much, especially because he's under the gun, so I expect his range to contain more hands that are composed of aces, kings, and queens, like ace, king, ace, queen, king, queen, than a jack hand that as often. So I had a gutter, and the bluff only needed to work 1/3 of the time, so I felt like it would be good. Here I just 3-bet bluffed and got like small 4-bet pulled by the big blind. I mean, getting over 3-1 here, I guess I call. But I'm not going to be very happy unless I flop big. He bombs it, I just fold now. So I think most of the money in this game comes from bluffing and value betting small in a whole lot of spots where a bigger bet would scare people away. People are pretty elastic in general. But they also just fold to the smaller bet too often in most cases. So, as you can see, I've already got a deep stack build up on the second table here. First table, I believe I'm down. For the session, I'm a little bit down, I think. Rebought a couple times and so on. But, the pool seems fairly weak right now, so I think we should be able to make some good money here relatively quickly. I think one of the keys to adapting to very tight games that fold a lot is recognizing that you can increase your bluffing frequency in a spot a lot without actually widening your range that much. It just means when you have the hands that are part of the acceptable range. I'm turning this into a bluff. Actually should have 3-bet a little bit bigger there. He's going to call easily. Anyway, when you have a hand that's part of the acceptable range, you can 3-bet at a very high frequency a lot of the time, or bluff at very high frequency. But if you have a hand that's outside that range, you really can't. So I hate this turn card, and I'm probably shutting down now. He ships turn, it's an easy fold. These 10s are probably not good. No, they are. That's cool. Just reloading whenever I get down to, low 40s. Here we get a flat call from the big blinds. He donks pot on Jack 6-3 two-tone. I'm gonna flat. I'm gonna peel one street. I don't really. I mean, I think that's draws a lot. I think it's draws more often than a jack. So I'm gonna peel a second street with my gutter now. Well, now I probably have to give him credit. Although I can probably shove river here now on a bluff. Yeah, there we go. It looks like I had a draw, so. The Ace of Hearts is a great card for me to steal it on there. So here I flop gutter plus flush draw. Just after flatting out of position, I'm just going to donk pot. Get called. Turn doesn't... Well, it adds, I guess, kind of a reverse implied out to the jack. I'm going to barrel pretty big, not quite pot because he's a little bit short, but... And he ships it. Okay. We have to go away. I guess that's a board that hits his early position raising range really well, so maybe I shouldn't have bluffed it so zealously. That's something I'm working on too, is figuring out how much to leave it alone when the board hits, when the board has high cards and obviously smashes someone's tight range. It's probably a leak I have, that I go after those boards a little bit too much against tight ranges when they're just going to have it really overwhelmingly often. Limp behind 7-3 suited on the small blind. Flop nothing, give up. So, haven't really had interesting spots so far very much, but hopefully some will come up pretty soon. So as for my sizing, I'm potting every position except the button, which I'm actually 3xing now instead of the 3.5x pot. I'm also narrowing my raising ranges against limpers. I think in the past I've raised limpers too wide with hands that don't really work that well as raises, especially multiple limpers. I'm raising a lot fewer hands against multiple limpers than I used to now. I guess live full ring has helped me learn that more. I guess this is a flat. It's like the bottom of a flatting range here. We flop nothing though. I think that's small here. I think we can check raise him off this often. I'm gonna go ahead and check raise big. Just folds. Cool. Yeah, one of the most exploitable things in this game is that people have these sizing tells where they just bet really small with the middle of their range almost always, or the bottom of their range sometimes. But basically, most of these players, when they bet really small, just can't have the top of their range. They just don't, it's not like conceivable to them to do that. So there's all sorts of bluff raising spots with like zero equity where you can do silly stuff to people because they just give away their hand strength with their dumb sizing tells. And that's a lot of what's exploitable about this game tactically. Oh. Oh, this guy already min-raised under the gun and he's short. I fold. I'm going to fold that. 10-4 suited is a little weaker than I want for a 3-bet bluff. I would probably do it with like 10-6 suited because that at least has a little bit of connectivity. But I'm staying away from 3-bet bluffing the hands that don't even have like, except for like suited aces, suited kings, staying away from the hands that have no connectivity, even if they're suited for the most part. This is not a great flop against his flatting range. It's not terrible, but I'm just gonna check fold. A lot of these hands that I would open on the button if it got to me, I'm just quick folding because I'd rather spend the time playing hands that make substantial money, and so I don't really even care. It's just not worth the time to wait around to open the button with garbage. This is a good 3-betting spot. Top of my 3-bet bluffing range against a button opener. He'll fold some, and then he'll call some and fold post-flop some, and sometimes I'll make a hand. Not this time. I guess I continue half pot, although an ace will probably peel. Yeah. Oh, I pick up the heart draw on the turn. Gonna bet a little bit smaller here to kind of set myself up for a river shove in the event that I hit the heart. Although he probably ships it here with his overpairs. In which case oh lord, he min raises. I guess I have to groan and call this and then give up most rivers. That's awful. Reload. I am open limping some hands that I used to open min-raise, just because people don't isolate enough for me to really bother needing to get the blocking effect out of a raise. I'm just gonna limp fold against a big raise though. I can do that because people aren't raising that spot often enough for me to care. My standard value a lot of the time with like overpairs and top pair is half pot, because the pot bet on the flop just scares the hell out of people. And then I often just go for triple half pot and try to get called by like whatever weaker pair. This is an unfortunate spot where I don't get called by a worse hand unless I bet really small. And if he raises, I'll give him credit for a queen and fold it probably. Yeah, that looks like a queen. I fold. Now, it's possible I could have induced a bluff raise, but more likely he just had a queen. Here I half pot this flop because he misses it most of the time, and oh, and I turn the gutter. That's lucky. Half pot it again. Hope he doesn't have a boat. He's so short that I'm calling it off if he should. Okay, not on that river. That's unfortunate. Whoa, he flopped the boat. Wow, okay, that river actually saves me. Cool. Here I'm flatting because this guy's too short for me to 3-bet. Fold the weak open-ended face-up draw on a monotone flop. It just doesn't do much of anything. Here I flop a shitty top pair 3 ways and just check this. I rarely see bet top pair no kicker when it's an ace or king. This guy pots turn. I guess I peel 1, decide river. And ace is good. Alright, cool. So here there's a 3-bet from a shortish button. He's too short for me to continue ace 10 suited, I think. He's going to dominate me a lot, so I have reverse implied odds there. And he's short enough that I don't really get implied odds on my flush draw and stuff like that, so I just fold. Ten 8 off is fine to open the button. This is the bottom of my flatting range here, and this is probably too wide even as is. I raise this guy's underbet because I think I have the best hand. Here he half pots. I'm gonna check call 1 street because I've got ace high could be good sometimes, and I've got the backdoor clubs. And when he checks back turn, I'm much more confident that I could be good. No, 10s are good. Fair enough. Five 3 suited I feel like is too, especially the short stacker right behind me, it's too weak to open, even on the cutoff, so I'm just going to limp it, try to see a cheap flop. Flop, queen, queen, queen. Wow, I have queens on the other table, that's a lot of queens. Doesn't look like I'm going to get any action on the queens though. Oh, okay, we got a flat call from the big blind. He leads out small. Raise small. Hopefully he'll call donk or something retarded here. A half pot turn for value. He check raises the turn. I don't believe this. I mean, he could have a 3, I guess, but I'm calling it off here. I'm checking down, actually. Yeah, he had nothing. He just thought since I was half potting turn, he could take a stab with a check raise. He just didn't add up. People make all sorts of mistakes with underbetting in this game. An ace-10 off, I fold in the small blind versus a hijack open because it's just dominated too often. People are just raising really, really tight ranges in the first 2 seats, and there's no reason to defend ace-10 offsuit out of position against tight early raise. So you get a min raise on the gun here and a flat. I'm going to 3-bet ace-10 suited pretty big. Kind of turning it into a bluff. I'm going to see king 3 suited multi-way deep. We flop pair plus flush draw. Oh crap, we got 2 callers over here. Well, we're giving up now. Against 2 people. That's not a good board to go after, and especially not against 2 people. So I lead out here with the pair plus flush draw. That's the kind of hand I like to do that with. The turn is awful. I think we potted anyway, though, because he can't have a 5 very much. Well, now we're done. That river we can't represent much of anything on. Our flush didn't get there, so. He jams. Okay, good hand. Alright, flat deuces. I would 3-bet them against a deeper stack, but he's too short. And we flop the set. Wow, cool. I'm just going to half pot it for value. Here we have the gutter 3 ways. Just check it. I would probably c-bet this against 1 person, but not 2. Oh, both of them called flop. Alright, well, I'll half pot again on the turn and hope that we don't hit an ugly ass river. Like that, for instance. We could well have a 9. I call his river underbet. And he has the 9. Nice river, bro. Could have bet more and still gotten me to call, I think. So running kind of bad, but I guess that's part of the game. Here we half pot and hope he just doesn't have that low board very often. Oh, we can barrel here with the second nut flush draw and the ace turn. We just check the big blind, king 5 suited against 3 limpers. Just folding it, even to a small bet. I don't really care about, 4 ways. I just don't care about messing with pots that are 4 way if I don't have it. Almost ever. Here I'm gonna ISO this 40 big blind short stacker with King 7 suited. I feel like it has enough high card value to play against a short stack. It's not a great hand, but he may just limp fold, or he may often limp call and check fold flop. Yep, limp fold. Get some action. I'm going to pot the queens because the board's real coordinated and the pot's small, and I want to make him pay for his draws, but that's okay, he just leaves. We'll just flat King 8 suited. It's 3-bettable, I think, but here I lead half pot with my flush draw. I lead a lot with my draws because I don't trust people to c-bet all that much on a lot of boards. He raises huge. I guess I call because I think I have some implieds. And we have a decent bit of money behind. Now he bombs turn when I miss, and I have to go away. We flat the fours, looking for a set that we don't hit. Here I'm going to multi-way flat 6-4 suited. This guy is kind of short, but it's not that bad. But we flop nothing 4 ways, so we're just quick holding. Isolating a 40 big blind short stacker with 7s here. Calls. We flop the set. Awesome. Go ahead and I'm gonna actually like 2/5 pot this because he's so short, and I want to spread my bets out across multiple streets. And we turn quads, which is pretty good. So I hear. I bet like 1/3 pot again. Now we just stick it in. Now he folds river. That's fine. Here I get squeezed by a semi-deep stack. I guess this is a flat with jacks. Can't really 4-bet it readless. But that's not a good board. If he represents strength here, we can just... Oh, he checks back very quickly. Okay, so I don't think he has the king that often then. Oh, and I river a set, but there's also a 1-card straight with a 9, so I'm going to bet real small and hope that like 2 pair or something calls, or 1 pair. And he raises river. I could have induced a bluff raise. I'm going to check. I'm going to call and see. No, oh, wow, ace queen. Okay, I thought we were good for a second, but nope. That's a really, really, really unfortunate river. So running pretty much terrible right now. Maybe I could have folded to his river raise. I don't know. Only slightly less than half pot my 2 overs against 2 people here. I'm doing it small because this one guy's short. I don't know why this guy raises flop. I peel one. I'll let him have it on the turn. Got a gutter over here. It's probably not going anywhere. Although everyone checked the flop, so I'm just going to pot it and see if I can take it down here. Cool. This is a check. Just an ugly board, and there's a short stacker over here I don't want to mess with too much. I'm going to make a thin flat here with queen 10 off, but I'm not going to be super happy if I flop one pair. I'm more speculatively calling, looking for better than one pair. I don't know why this guy donks out small. This guy raises. That's interesting. I'll just fold. I'm not going to mess with it anymore. I mean, he could be bluffing over a small bet because he knows that it's weak, etc. But I'm not prepared to go to war over that hand, not having any reads on him. Here, make a good 3-bet spot. Small blind versus button with the top of my 3-bet bluffing range. Get called pretty quickly. Flop, gutter. Can represent this board better than he can. A limp 4-3 suited. I'm gonna get raised. I'm just gonna limp fold. I don't even care about trying to defend a hand that weak out of position against a big raise. Here I'm going to 3-bet big for value with ace-jack, kind of merged. And cut off just folds, which is a fine result with me. The flat 8s here. Ooh, I'm just going to lead flop because I think I have the best hand often. Even though this guy did raise under the gun. He peels one. Other guy folds. That's cool. I'll give him another half-pot bet. See if he'll peel with his draws. Just folds turn, that's totally fine. Flat the min raise here with 10-9 off. Again, I take a lot of small ball leading lines instead of check call lines frequently in this kind of game because I just don't have reads on the players and their aggression frequencies, so I'd rather just... Ooh. He could have the flush here, or he could have nothing. People like to bluff this kind of spot a fair bit. Yeah, he had nothing, but then he rivered the flush. He had a draw, I guess. Maybe flop nothing and just take a half pot stab, heads up, on ace high flop and take it down. Guess we flat this. Although, you can argue for folding if this guy's opening really tight under the gun. Backdoor flush draw, some backdoor straight draws. This guy bets pretty big on that flop into 2 people, 3 people. I'm gonna give him credit and go away, especially with the caller. Here we half pot for value with the top pair. Get called. Turn is fine. We half pot it again. Get called. River is fine. I think I can bet really small and get a worse ace to call. Unless he just... Okay, he was slow playing. That's unfortunate. Here I'm going to flat Queen 7 suited. I don't feel like it's quite good enough to 3-bet bluff. This time I'm not going to lead. I'm going to check call. I'm going to donk underbet the turn, kind of to mix it up, get thin value, maybe induce, and then half pot river. And he has a better queen. I suppose I should have seen that coming. I'm not going to see bet this into 2 people right now. Been raising all suited kings from under the gun recently because they play okay and people just fold so much to them. Bad flop for me against 2 people. Half pot here. Again, I just don't want to play the check call guessing game against an unknown. Don't pick up any equity on the turn. That's not a good scare card. I just check it. Check down. Hopefully he had, you know, king high or something. But he's probably going to value bet his pair on the river and I'll fold. There aren't any busted draws he can have. I'm going to 3-bet off in position with a really weak hand. I'm doing this because it's cutoff versus button and I have position. And so this is like one of the widest 3-betting spots. It's the widest positional 3-betting spot. And obviously get cold 4-bet by the random big blind. Here I'm going to 3-bet bluff ace-8 suited. Get flatted. Flop nothing. That's not a very good bluffing flop. Pick up a gutter on the turn. To the 6. He half pots it. I think we just fold here. So running really terrible thus far in the video. I'm folding the 4x here, I don't care. And we get jammed on by a short stacker, of course. short stacker. They both limp flat, or they both flat $3 pre-flop, and I flop bottom pair. This guy's gonna bet us off the pot now. Okay, and the board just gets worse and worse and worse. A random 9 is good here, I'd be shocked. And no boy. I'm going to 3-bet this guy's 4x because I want enough money to be in when I hit the set that I can definitely stack him. And sometimes he just folds pre-flop, which is totally fine too. I'm going to flat multi-way here with the 10-6 suited, flop nothing, and immediately go away. Get flatted by a very, very short stacker and by the deep button. And King 3-bet jammed on by the small blind short stacker. Fan-fucking-tastic. Okay. Flatting multi-way here. We flop a shit pair. I'm just gonna let it go. Here we open King 10 suited under the gun, get flatted by the button. Flop nothing. I'm just gonna pot it because I want him to go away, and I don't think I think he'll float this board a lot if I half pot, because it doesn't look like I have anything either. Isolate with 8s. I'm going to make it 1/3 of stacks, which is like 375, because I want to ship every flop against his awkward stack size. Or most flops. And just limp folds, which is fine. Got a flat from the short cutoff here. Flop nothing. Okay, I'm just gonna pot it like before. It'll be missed. And I don't want him to float me. There we go. I'm gonna half pot the king high board here. That's not the best board to see bet, but he limp called, so yeah, hit him. Actually, I think since he limp called, I can probably barrel him off of this pot frequently. Yeah, on the turn. I was rivering an ace, I think that's interesting. Min raise. I'm gonna 3-bet pretty big against the min raiser with a bluff. I think people in min raising wide and generally weak ranges most of the time. We're gonna half pot one and done this flop. Yeah. We just flat king jack versus the min raise though. It's one of those hands that's in between, and I don't like 3-betting it. He bets real small. I'm gonna raise him pretty big on the flop. Either ace 10 or a set. Yep, he folds. Good. Again, it's that underbet sizing tell. Queens on the button. We're isolating 7-5 suited now against a standard stack. And he folds. No, I was hoping one of these guys would 3-bet me. Alas, no one 3-bets enough in this game. We got a 4x under the gun here. I'm going to 3-bet him 750. Because again, I want to be able to get stacks in when I hit my my set. And also, he may fold pre-flop sometimes. If he 4-bets, I can just fold. Nope, he folds pre-flop. Cool. Flop bottom pair. Probably we'll half pot this and give up most turns. Cool. But again, we get so much respect with the half pot one and done. I'm considering a squeeze here. I think the short stacker will likely just fold, unless he's an idiot, which he could be. We don't really know. Unless the other short stacker just jams, and then I'm clearly folding. I think he's just not there, though. Yeah, alright, I am going to squeeze this. It's like 1/3 of stacks for the short stacker. So I can shove some flops effectively. And everyone just folds anyway. Totally fine with me. I'm gonna limp in 10-4 suited. These tables are so passive. I guess I have to flat in position here. And flop a flush draw. That's better than expected. Wonder if this guy, I think it's check to us. I think I just pot my flush draw here because I want them to go away. called. Do not turn the flush, but I'm going to barrel here with my flush draw. I'm actually, since we're very deep, I'm going to overbet turn to like try to squeeze in some extra fold equity and still get called. I don't know why. We're done now. Wow, he was just open-ended. I totally could have barreled that. That's frustrating. Can't believe he just snapped off the overbet with open-ended on the turn there. That's probably pretty bad. Call 8-5 and flop an 8. 4 ways. Not very confident. This guy was the pre-flop raiser too, and he just half-potted into... Well, I guess I check call 1 barrel here. Oh boy. Oh, I make the straight. Cool. You get a half pot lead. I'll peel 1. Turn is not great for me. I will pot it though when he checks. Just to try to take it down. Yep. He leads out small and then checks turn. Most people aren't trapping there, they just don't have it. I'm definitely 3-betting ace queen here, as the deep stacker raises 2 limpers. And flats. Oh, good flop. Not the best flop, but a good flop. See that half pot. He folds. Very good. I think check call is also a fine line on that flop that I should be playing some of the time. Here I'm going to bluff raise 6-5 suited. Bluff 3-bet rather. Everyone folds. Good enough. We get a 3-bet big versus that 4x over a limper. The limper limp cold calls. That's epic. And the other guy ships it. Okay, I call. Folds AK, cool. Just no hearts and we're good. Yeah, we're good. I don't like c-betting this board with no equity. There's just too many things he can have. He min-bets flop, I just check call. Turn If he bets small again here, I can actually... What? I'm going to check raise him. I think he was probing the flop to find out if he could bomb turn and steal it from me. Either that or he has the flush. And he's going to shove. But nope, he was in fact probing the flop with a min bet to find out if he could bomb the turn and steal it. And I exploited that. Here I'll half pot bluff king high. Get a call. Turn second pair. Check it back pretty easily. Just check this down. He river to what? Oh, I just said AK high. Never mind. I thought I turned to jack. I thought I ace jack for a minute. Never mind. Nice answer. A little limp queen X suited. A fair bit. Nine four suited is too bad to 3-bet, I think. Even in position, even button versus cutoff, it's too weak. Got some kings in the small blind. Folded to me. Flop a set. That's cool. Just gonna pot it to build the pot up. Oh, get insta called. I think he's got an ace or something. So this should be easy to get stacks in now. Oh, especially now that he has trip aces. Very nice. Maybe just half pot for value with the top pair. Turn a flush draw. I think I'm going to half pot for value again. He folds, that's fine. Here I'm going to 3-bet big with sixes because we're deep and I want to be able to get stacks in when I hit a set. But everyone folds anyway, it's totally fine. I guess this is... Well, it's probably closer to a fold, but I just flatted it to speculate. Here I get 3-bet pretty big by the big blind. I'm just going to fold ace-9 off. I feel like it plays poorly in 3-bet pots, and it's dominated a lot by his 3-betting range there. If I had more reads and I knew he was 3-bet bluffing a lot, I could call, but I would need to know about, I would need to have some idea of his aggression levels and his range and stuff, and I just don't in zone. Went behind 6-5 suited. Reflop nothing. I'm just going to jab pot at it and hope he doesn't have an ace or a good draw. I get called. That's bad. Hope he's on hearts, because now we can't barrel anymore. I think bombs river, we're done. Here I lead out with my flush draw. Small, kind of for blocking value. I'm gonna bet a little bit more than half pot on the turn. Well, I don't want him to feel like he can shove over me easily here. River nothing. He could have a fair number of draws here, or a queen that he could fold. I'm gonna fire all three. Turn my 5 into a bluff. Trying to get him off a queen here. There we go. He could also, like I said, he could also have his own busted heart draws, busted straight draws, jack 9, things like that. And if he can fold a queen some of the time too, then I think it's a profitable bluff. So here a very deep stacker has made the very weird small bet, so I'm actually not going to fuck with him. Because I think that anyone with a very deep stack is much more likely to be a good player and not, it's just super face up and bad with their underbets. Fantastic flop for us. Standard half pot c-bet. And he just folds. Oh well. I'm gonna play this as a check call. This is something I do more often against players that I know. But, since he was short, I didn't really feel like bluffing it this time. I'm gonna check call one barrel. And he probably has a pair a lot of the time now. Oh, he rivered the 6. Okay, well, fair. I guess I was good on the turn, but he had outs. Here I just fold to 3-bet. His king-jack offsuit doesn't play well in deep 3-bet pots. I'm gonna min-raise over here. I think we can 3-bet bluff. Yep, take it down. Min raise is often just like similar to limp in that it just gives away weakness early on. Eights, second pocket pair against 2 people. That's not too bad a flop. I'm gonna half pot it because I probably have the best hand fairly often. It's kind of a protection bet, yeah. I'm going to 3-bet huge with ace deuce suited against under the gun. He flats it. Oh, okay, well this is a terrible flop to go after, so I'm checking back now. Hoping for a 10 or club, I guess. Unless he bombs turn, then I probably have to fold. He bets really small on the turn. I wonder how he reacts to a small raise. Does he jam? No, he folds. Again, that underbet sizing tell just says, feel free to come and raise me and take my money when bad players do it. Okay, that's too much money to call with the deuces. Flop nothing, and it's 4 ways, so that sucks. Here we just half pot because it's unraised pot against one person, and he didn't do anything except check pre, so he has nothing almost always. And this guy kind of 3/5 pots the flop. I just fold, especially with a caller. I don't have anything. I'm 3-betting, well, I'm going to 3-bet like a little bit smaller with ace queen, because I'm a little bit merged here, and I don't want to drive out all the hands I beat. This is not a good flop for me on the right. And check fold. You get a cold call from the big blind, and they razor calls, and I flop top 2 on a monotone board. Could be worse. Go ahead and half pot this. Called. Okay, turn a jack. I'm not thrilled about it, but it's not terrible. Guess I call. And he flopped a flush. And we lose a big pot. Wonderful. I guess he check called donked with the flop flush. I feel like that's kind of a cooler, and I'm just going to pay it off a lot. There's short stacker ships it for $6 as a squeeze. It's sevens. And he's winning so far. Queen river. That's cool. Probably could have gotten away with half pot on that one. On the right. Oh, I meant to 3x there, but whatever. Flop open-ended. Not too terrible. Go ahead and pot it. I tend to do that more often with my good draws. Just take it down, it's fine. Here we get like min 3-bet by the big blind, which is weird. When we flop a gutter, he pots the flop. I feel like I can bluff raise here. Calls. Pick up double gutter on the turn. I'm just gonna jam turn now. There we go. Take it down. Just see-bet half pot with my ace queen high here. Get called for one barrel by a deep stack. Just giving up now unless I improve. Half pot to the river. I'll let him have it. It just looks like a jack. Get 3-bet big by a short stacker. I just fold queen jack offsuit. Again, that's going to play poorly against 3-bets. Jack's gonna walk. I'm just gonna try opening suited garbage in the cutoff. Because nobody's been 3-betting me from the button, like ever. I do get flatted some, but that's not the end of the world. We flop nothing. I'm gonna half pot this even into 2 people, because there's a king out there. Like ace or king high boards with only 1 Broadway are often good bluffing cards, or one and done spots like this. Fold river though, because he has something. And we had nothing, so. Get min 3-bet by a very deep hijack player. That is weird. I don't really know what it means. It might just be an attempt to take initiative with whatever bluffing hand I call. We flop nothing. Both check through the flop. He half pots turn. I don't necessarily believe him just yet, since he checked back flop here. Oh, ace queen high is good though. I'm checking back here. I don't think the half pot bet will work against a very deep stack like this because he's probably a stronger player. I will pot turn when he checks again though. I can rep a king fairly easily. Ooh, and this guy like min 3-bets. I'm gonna cold call king 10 suited. Wow, he just jams. So sick. I want to see what these guys have. I'm gonna sit out. AK and king queen. Good God, king queen calls. That is nuts. I'm going to pot turn here when he checks back. I do have a gutter, and I could well have an ace. There we go. Delayed c-bet on the ace turn looks like I had the ace in a lot of times. Here I'm 3-betting the very deep stacker with, whoops, I did not mean to 3-bet that. I made a small 3-bet mistake. Well, maybe I can half pot and take it down now. Nope. He's going to be good here a lot. He's got an ace like almost always. If not a jack. And he value bets river and I fold. Guy just jams 50 bigs. I'm gonna call it off with jacks. He has AK. So far so good. Jacks are good. Whenever someone open limps small blind, I like to 4x big blind because they're usually a bad player if they're doing that. Didn't get called. That's weird. I bet small on the turn to like avoid giving him good leverage to shove on me. Ooh. I think he's on a bluff catcher a lot that I can get him off of now. Yep. Ooh, flop a set of nines. Just go ahead and pot it. Get called, that's good. It's not the best turn, but it's not terrible. There's only like a couple straight combos that got there, so I'm just gonna pot it again. Oh god, the worst river possible comes up. Fucking 8 wins it. God, that's nasty. Oh wait, he turned the straight, didn't he? Nevertheless, that's disgusting when you have a set. Get a cold call from the other deep stacker over here. And a call from that guy. Alright, so here we just half pot, or straightforward value. Good board for us. Probably get called down by a worse king. No, he folds turn. That's interesting. Flop a 7 3 ways. Got a bluff catcher, some backdoor flush and straight outs. Put gutter on the turn. I'm gonna pot this with pair plus gutter. Probably for protection, can take it down a decent bit. I'm gonna check the river and possibly call. Doesn't look like he has a king, but maybe he does. It's 3/4 pot in the river. There's not a lot of draws he could have had. I'll give him credit. Here I half pot, or slightly less than half pot with my pair of 8s. And just take it down, just fine. Check back ace queen here against a deep stack. I'm going to mix it up with more passive lines and pot control against deeper stacks because they're almost certainly better players. Unless they're just a donkey on a huge heater. But same hand. didn't look at this guy's stack size. Should have been raised the button here. Now hopefully I can half pot and just take it down when he has nothing. There we go. Flop gutter. But that's such a good board for his flatting range that I don't even want to attack it. He checks back. Well, now if we pot turn, I wonder what he does, because that's a pretty scary turn. Yeah. Just shouldn't be a lot of good hands at all that he's checking back there. His check back range should be pretty weak, I think. Three betting the fours. Flatting is also okay here. It's borderline with my stack size, I think. Get called. Don't flop anything. One and done. Get called. Pick up a gutter on the turn. Fire small. Don't get there on the river. Whew! That was a sick 3-barrel bluff. Just thought he could have a lot of draws and a lot of bluff catchers, and that he was not going to be able to put me on a pure bluff when I 3-bet and fired all 3 barrels. Plus I widened his calling range on the turn a bit by betting smaller, so that sort of compelled me to want to bluff the river as well, since I made the funny small turn sizing. Cool. We got middle pair plus flush draw here. I'm just potting this flop because I don't want to get floated. Yeah. The low boards like that, I feel like it's harder to just half pot them against some of the more confident players because they're smart enough to float when they're supposed to against smaller sizes. They don't just give up easily to a small size. In those cases. Turn the flush and pot it. Get called. Overshove river. Oh, trying to rep a pure bluff. Maybe it's better to just go for whatever amount of value I think I can get him to call there. But I've had people call me on overshoves a couple times recently when I was bluffing and in spots where I thought it was just ridiculous. So I think some of these players are capable of like sick hero calls versus overshoves because they think you can only be shoving with a bluff for that size. So I'm sort of looking for those kinds of situations too. Flop middle pair here. Just half pot it. Take it down. Flop bottom pair and a backdoor flush draw 4 ways. This is an easy check. And fold to any action. Turn is no help. This guy leads out really small. And check back flop and raise turn here. Take it down. Again, that small sizing tell. That's where like all my bluff raises come from. Just people underbetting spots with a face-up range of mediocre hands. And or air. We get 3-bet pretty big by a deep, small blind player. Getting 2 to 1. I guess this is like bottom of my calling range. Peel flop with gutter plus backdoor hearts. Do not get any help on the turn. Just fold. This is a spot I'm going to pot control because I have an ace or a king top pair with a poor kicker. Ooh, that's not good. You bet big like that. Check call one barrel. But I'm not willing to pay off stacks here at all. This is a fold now, I think. He's just repping too much strength. And all I have is a bluff catcher. Here I'm going to raise to $3 with 6-5 suited against 2 limpers out of position. Get both to call. That's... Well, no one hits this flop, so I'm going to half pot it and see if I can take it down. Nope, get called. By both of them. Turn an ace. Huh. Can I bluff them off this spot now? No, probably not. Maybe, well, I don't know, 9's might have called. I didn't want to bluff into 2 people with nothing, though. Just pot this for value. Charge the draws. There's a lot of bad turns. I'm gonna half pot here because I think he just folds easily, and so I don't need a full pot bet. Flop a flush draw. And take it down on the flop. Would have turned the flush. Four ways with AK high here and a big lead into me. I'm just folding. Flop nothing here. Half pot will win it often enough. Ooh. I'm going to bet pretty big on the turn to try to rep the flush. Unless he himself has the flush, and then he'll probably jam. I don't like this flop for going after. I'm just gonna let this guy have that because he bet into 2 people. That's stronger than betting into 1 person, obviously. I'm gonna flat this kind of marginally. Flop nothing. This guy needs out minimum. Ooh, big raise from that guy. From the original raiser. I'm gonna 3-bet big with my 6s in position here to either take it down pre-flop or build the pot enough to get it in when I hit a set. I'm gonna 3-bet bluff very loose here because it's button versus cutoff, and I have a deep stack and he's a regular medium stack, so all of those are good factors for 3-bet bluffing, despite the fact that my hand is not very good for it. Yeah. Five four suited gets folded there because I'm out of position and a guy opened under the gun with a short stack. So, you know, the shorter the stacks, the shorter the effective stacks are, the shittier your low card hands are going to become. So, no reason to play 5-4 suited there. Here I am totally 3-bet bluffing very big against a button opener, and he just folds. Three-betting very big against a min-raiser, button versus cutoff. Down here I'm just going to 3-bet to 1/3 of stacks, which is like about 450. So this gives me a pot-sized bet to shove on the flop. Roughly, well I guess it's a little more than pot. He just folds anyway, that's fine. That's kind of what you have to do against bizarre stack sizes, is basically raise to 1/3 of stacks with your good hands, and that'll leave you a pot-sized shove on the flop. squeeze this with 5-3 suited. Oh, and the limper cold calls. That's very interesting. I thought middle pair. Just going to go ahead and pot it and see if I can take it down now. Here we go. I feel like the pot flop bet often so heavily implies that you're going to threaten stacks that it just terrifies people. And so it's sometimes better when you really need fold equity, and you don't think you're going to get that much respect. Limp behind queen 8 off in the small blind, flop mid pair. Two people call $1. That's probably not good for my hand. This guy contemplating a bluff raise, perhaps. No, he's just not there. Check down. And he bets 3/5 pot about. I'm just folding now. I believe him. So hopefully I've made some ambitious bluffs and interesting moves this session. I believe I have. I think I'm still slightly down for the session by 30 bucks or something. Just because I was running really terrible for a while and lost a few buy-ins. Here I make my standard half pot value bet. Face up thin value. I don't like the turn. Check it. It's back. I think I'm gonna half pot river again and get value from a worse jack. Yeah, probably what he had. I'm just not gonna attack this board with nothing. Oh, I turn an ace. That's fun. Half pot it. Get called. Just under half pot river. Hopefully a king calls. No, he folds. Oh well. Here I just half pot because he's unlikely to hit a low paired board. Yeah. And up here I half pot for value with top pair good kicker. And they both fold. Again, I'm doing this. This isn't cutoff versus button, but I'm doing it because I think his min raise is actually, his open min raise is in itself a bet sizing tell. And flats. Flop nothing. I can pot this and steal it a lot though, because I could well have a 10. Assuming he doesn't have one, which he usually doesn't. Check call the street. I pick up the club draw on the turn. Interesting. I'll just jam turn. I don't think he calls too much. No, but he does. With queens. Oh, and I river the better flush. Wow, that's really, really lucky. Okay, well that turned around my luck a bit. He slow played queens. That was actually very well played by him, and I got very lucky. He totally outplayed me that hand. Half pot, c-bet my gutter. We are up for the session now. Here we go, huge raise. 8-6 suited against two limpers, one of whom is very deep. We flop bottom pair on a kind of gross board, so this is not a hand we're going to be wanting to invest much more in. Yeah. I made it 5 over his min raise and he called. We checked through 2 streets and probably 3 streets, and I think AK high is good. He min bets river. He has jack. He could have definitely gotten more value than min bet there. Called here. Turn. Gonna have to fire all 3 here a lot if I want to barrel. Called again. And take it down with a 3 barrel. Very nice. I just don't think most people are calling with a jack there. Like they'll call 2 barrels but not the 3rd one. At least most people at this game who are fairly timid. I'm gonna go just under half pot here. Well, I get 3-bet pretty big by this small blind. Ace Jack's probably close to the bottom of my calling range here. Flop 2 pair, but on a kind of precarious board. I do have to peel 1 street. Oh, that's an awful turn. I lose to like everything now. Obviously any 10, but I also lose to Ace Queen, Ace King, and any set. Yeah, like that. Whew. Good thing that turn slowed him down. Actually, should have been even a little bit bigger here, I believe. But if I'm going to get multiple callers, then okay, well, that makes things easier. Hopefully the deep stack folds. Yeah. That wasn't big enough to reopen the action, so here we go. Oh, thank God we flopped. Ship it. Called like 9-6. Q cool. Alright, AK good. Hell yeah. Holding up. Here I'm 3-bet bluffing Jack 8 suited against the button, and he just folds. So I'll probably end the video around the 2-hour mark like the last one, so that's another 15 minutes or so. Glad the session turned around for me and I started to run very good, especially that one suck out I hit with my flush draw. That was very lucky. Flop 2 pair, that's fun. Just pot it. Actually, half pot might be better here, but he actually wants to play for pot, so that's cool. I'm gonna half pot turn and then ship most rivers that aren't terrible. That's a great river. It's a fantastic river, in fact. I just ship it. 6 is full. Thanks. When I get 3-bet big by the big blind. I think I'm just dominated here a lot. I'm going to fold. If I thought he was balanced and could be bluffing there some reasonable portion of the time, then I could perhaps continue, but I don't think that people are balancing their 3-bet bluffing range in big blind versus under the gun. I mean, that's like the ugliest spot to 3-bet ever, so I just think he has a monster, like almost always when he does that, and I don't need to mess around with ace-jack, even if it is suited. I'm just going to fold king 3 suited here. Make a pretty big 3-bet, king queen suited, small blind versus button, get called, flop top 2 on a 3 straight 2 flush board. Still have to bet because it's the best hand most of the time and I need to protect it. He folds, that's perfectly fine. There's a lot of ugly turns I don't want to see. I'm just flatting 6s because the guy that opened min raised is so short. I flop over pair and a gutter. I will lead out half pot. And again, I really like this small lead strategy against unknowns, especially passive unknowns. or unknowns who are mostly passive, because it's much easier to read their bluff raising frequencies than it is to read their bluff barreling frequencies. So if we know nothing about their aggression frequencies when they're checked to, we can still figure out a lot about their hands in the moment by underbetting. Now I get raised here. I just fold. I don't think he bluff raises there. That's short. Here I half pot my flush draw with 2 overs. Get called pretty quickly. Turn one of my overs. That's good. Half pot it again. Get called pretty quickly. River my flush. Ship it in. He folds. No matter. Top set is excellent. Just pop that shit. Get called. I guess 6-7 just got there, but I don't really think that's a big part of his range, so I pot it again, and he folds. No, bad river was coming. I don't see a reason to c-bet 7s against 2 short staggers on this board, so just check folding here, really, unless someone really small underbets. Like little over half pot. A little less than half pot. No, a little over half pot. I just fold. I don't think 7s are good there very much. Third pocket pair or whatever it is. Here I'm isolating button versus a cutoff limper with ace-6 off. Donks pot, whatever. I see that play so rarely, that limp call donk pot like that. It's just so unusual that I don't really feel the need to play back at it. Flop a 6, that's not bad. Go ahead and half pot that. Get a fold, that's fine. Check back my ace high here. Turn a gutter. I'm still just checking back. Hoping ace high is good here. Yeah, it's good. Also, I explained it before, the reason I use the large isolation sizing is because people are capping their ranges when they limp in. Meaning that I don't have to worry about people limp 3-betting me. I think that's happened maybe once ever in this game. Oh, aces get walked. But so people cap their ranges when they limp in, and they also like to limp call large amounts and then play badly post flop. So I'm just magnifying their post flop mistakes by making these big oversized raises, especially out of position, because you want to discourage people from flatting when you're out of position. So that's why I'm doing like 6 or 7x when there's limpers to me and I'm raising from the blinds. And I'm doing it with a ton of hands in this game in particular, just because people fold way too much in way too many spots in this game. Oh shit, that's a mistake. I didn't look at his stack size. He can easily 4-bet jam now and I have to fold. Yep, that was a mistake. Don't do that, kids. Don't try that at home. That's why we don't 3-bet bluff short stackers, right there. I gave him perfect leverage to 4-bet jam, which was a big mistake. Well, I mean, only for $5 or whatever, but still, clearly a mistake. With this, I'm going to 3-bet. As a semi-bluff, and you get an insta-call from the, like from both of them. Okay, well, we're kind of done with this now. I don't want to bluff into 2 people here with just nothing. Yeah, river king, hey. I'm still checking though, because these could, oh man, yeah, wow. He could have diamonds or a better king fairly easily. I just fold. I feel like he trapped and slow played something. I don't know. Never know now. Here we are 3-betting. Big out. I'm doing this big instead of the smaller sizing because I'm out of position, which allows him to call more in position. And I feel like I can still steal this board a lot. Nope, get called. That sucks. Ooh, whoa, got folded there. And I have to fold here. That's unfortunate. Flop top pair here. This is a deep stacker though, so I'll check back flop for deception. I do that a lot more against good players, confident players. Then I'll just under half pot turn when he checks again. And he folds. Flop. I raise big pre and flop open-ended. And backdoor flush draw. So go ahead and half pot this. Hopefully one of them goes away. No, they both call. Ooh, man, that would have been a great spot to turn my straight to. Check. Let's river the straight. Yay! Although he can have a boat, which would be unfortunate. But I think I have to call anyway. And he rivered the boat along with my straight. That's stellar. I don't see how I could fold a straight there. I mean, I feel like he can have trips for value. I don't know whether he can be bluffing, but I feel like it's cooler against boats. Maybe I'm wrong. If anybody has a better idea on that hand, let me know. Here I'm going for 1/3 of stacks. Well, not quite 1/3, but close. Big low distance fold, that's fine. I just didn't want to play against this awkward 50 big blind stack, so I just went for the 1/3 of stacks. Just about 3 more minutes here and we'll wrap it up. turn here. Easy check back. Check it down with a 6. 6 is good. He had 9 high. Here I am going to 3-bet bluff. Jack 10 suited. Small blind versus cutoff. Get called. Flop. Nothing. And he reps that board better than I do now, so that combined with the fact I have nothing makes this a check fold. Three-bet bluffing. There we go. King 4 suited takes it down. Half pot for value here. I also want to be wary of not paying off a 5. That's a shitty turn. So you could have floated ace high. I have to pay this off. Oh wow, the river open-ended. Okay. I'm not going to see with this board into 2 people because I'd have to probably pot it, and I just don't want to risk that much against 2 opponents. Just folding turn now. You're just flat in position with ace-jack. Gets an under the gun raise. This is a little bit marginal. Like you can argue for just folding. I flop nothing. Let's see if it's 2/3 pot. This is a razor fold. I have no equity. I'm just gonna fold. Alright, I'm gonna sit out next big blind and then call it a session. Kind of 3-bet bluff Jack 4 suited though. That's kind of marginal, but we'll see how it goes. Oh well, we get insta 4-bet jammed, so cold 4-bet jammed by a short stack. So that's unfortunate. Alright. That table's done. There. Some queens. Take it down. I'm gonna check raise this on a whim. Yep, small bet sizing tough. And I'm done. Alright, cool. So thanks for watching. This was pretty fun to do, although had a couple frustrating hands, but also had some really cool hands. So I hope you guys enjoy that. And until next time, this is Gage Brown.